$1 million, 3 properties. Which one are you going to choose? Would you want cash flow, growth, freestanding, strata, metro, regional? What are you going to buy? If you have $1 million right now and you want to invest it in commercial property and you want to grow your portfolio, what should you be choosing? Come on, let me show you what you should be choosing. My name is Helen Tarrant. I help everyday Australians become wealthy through investing in commercial property, helping you to build cash flow and a sustainable portfolio that you can rely on for passive income so that you can retire sooner. If you want to find out more about what I do, or you want to get into commercial property but want to find out more, click the link below, join us for one of our upcoming webinars, or book in for a strategy session. So let's go and let me show you what else you could buy. So first up is this property in Dara in Queensland. Now Dara in Queensland is pretty much very close to the city in Brisbane. It's a well-to-do area. It's an area that's up and coming, that's had, previously had a bit of lower socioeconomic, but now have grown as well. Lots of tilt slab warehouses. This is the property that everybody wants in this current market, except it's about $1 million and the yield is 5.4%. Do you want a 5.4% yield right now? The interest rate did go lower to about 6.35%. And that means you would actually have some cash flow if you're putting in a cash deposit. However, if you're financing it by equity, this is not going to give you that cash flow. You're actually going to be negative. But it is very secure with a good tenant in there. It's very secure in the future if you want to release, and it's a very tightly held market. So lots of owner occupiers, but it also means that you can get it leased out fairly soon. So if you're looking for that extra bit of security and you're looking for where everybody else is investing and the type of property that's most popular, Dara, warehouse property, this is it, right? Would I invest in this property? Let me tell you a little bit later. Now, second is a property in Frankston. This is a Thai restaurant. It's 239 square meters roughly of land size. So the same as Dara, but now it's freestanding building, right? It's a freestanding land. This is what Melbourne's famous for. They got little shops in between each little shops and they're all freestanding. Solar panels on top. The Thai restaurant's been there for ages. Now they've got a brand new 5-year lease with 5-year options. Frankston is up and coming. It does have had some little bit of downflow in the last few years, but it is an upcoming area. A lot of people are actually going and living there. It is about an hour and a half outside of Melbourne, especially in traffic. It's about an hour and a half. It's about an hour normally, but it is a little central hub by itself. So it is got a lot of potential in the future for more density and more growth, and you're buying freestanding land, except what you're sacrificing is returns. If you thought Dara at 5.4% yield was really low yield, then you've got here in Frankston, this property is probably only going to give you barely 5%. So it's about a $900,000 purchase or so. It's $42,000 in terms of net rent. So it's going to be between that 900 mark, maybe a little bit less. So you can buy into this, but you're not getting a huge amount of returns. However, you're going to get the security of the tenant. It's going to be pretty much long term. And you're going to get a freestanding building that will probably require some maintenance in the future, but all the same, land, freestanding. So if you don't want strata, this is one of your options if you want to buy commercial property in around that $1 million mark. But what if you want something with really good growth, but a little bit more cash flow? Well, what about this property in Sydney? This is property in Woolloomooloo in Sydney. Now, Woolloomooloo in Sydney is a really nice inner suburb area. It's got lots of upmarket cafes, restaurants. It's also got a lot of office spaces, and the Navy is also there as well. So this area is gentrified. It's got some upmarket houses that has water views and even marinas there as well. So it's got a lot going for this area. So this is a little cafe. It's about 58 square meters. So it's a decent size, and it's over 2 lots. So you wouldn't be able to buy this in your self-managed super fund, but definitely you'll be able to invest in this outside of super. Good size for future cafes as well, and plus it's got a car space as well, so making it about, I think, 63, 65 square meters. So overall, it's not a bad size, and it's trending around that 6.5% yield. Yeah, the tenant's not paying for land tax and management fees, so you need to take that out. When you take that out, at around that $1 million mark, it's going to come in at about 6% yield at best. But it's going to sit higher than Dara, sit higher than Frankston, and it is a Sydney metro property that's going to have more growth in the future, especially as the denser population comes in, and because Sydney's always shown stellar growth. So you get something that has the current yield that's higher than everyone else. It is a strata property. It's smaller in space because it's in Sydney. Obviously, rents are more expensive versus Melbourne and Queensland, but ultimately it will have the future capital growth because the area is going to gentrify even more over time. So you've got 1, 2, 3, right? Would you buy a warehouse property in Dara? Would you buy Frankston freestanding property? Would you also buy Sydney, that is a strata cafe? But what if you don't like any of those, right? What else would you choose? Well, you could go regional. You could go regional to any of the large regional towns. So your Waggas, your Warrnambool, you could go out to Bundaberg, go to Gympie, go to Townsville, go to Rockhampton, you go to any of the places in the regional areas, in Port Macquarie, Gladstone, you go to all of the areas, and depending on where you go and how much you're willing to get to sacrifice cash flow for growth, or in terms of cash flow and security, then you can decide on whether you can get a property that is 7 or 8% yield. If you want to go to a mining town right now, you can get an 8% yielding property. If you go to a large regional town, it's roughly about that 6.75 to 7% yield. So you can still get instant cash flow right now, but you're sacrificing a little bit of growth. So let's come back to those 3 properties. If I was you, and what would I do? What would I buy? How would I buy them? In what order? I would definitely look at Sydney Woolloomooloo as my top choice. Why would I do that? Yes, it's a strata property, but I like the location, like the area, and I know that the tenant will be there for the long term because they're signing a 3x3 year lease. And if they're not there, they're easily replaceable by another like tenant, right? I love the fit out. And I think even though it's small, it's as a long-term hold, as a starter property, it's a great starter property, and you're getting the yield as well, and you're in Sydney, which is very, very rare. Number 2, I would go and choose Frankston. Why would I choose Frankston over Dara, even though Dara is the most popular? Is because warehouse spaces have such a great run that about 2 to 3 years ago, that similar property in Dara was yielding about 7% in Brisbane. So if I was to buy it now, I'm buying almost at the peak of the market. So while it's a beautiful property, it's got the security, it just doesn't have the future growth for me, and it really doesn't even have that much yield for me to have cash flow. So for me, I wouldn't buy Dara, I would be looking at Frankston. Frankston, it's still not the best. I won't get the cash flow, but at least I get a freestanding property on land. So if I'm chasing a freestanding property on land, I'm still going to get better than if I invested in residential in that area. I would go with Frankston. But my top choice here is Woolloomooloo. Now, you might have a different criteria. You might have a different goal for commercial property. Whatever it is here at Unicorn Commercial Property, we can help you achieve that. We surround you with an A team of people who can help you with your finance, with your accounting, with your legals, your structures, and helping you to put a strategy together so you can get to 100, 200, 300,000 or even more in passive income. My name is Helen Tarrant. Remember, I'm here to help you grow your wealth through commercial property. All you have to do is click the link, book into that strategy session, and let me show you how you can do it step by step. Again, if you love this video, if you want to find out more where to invest in Australia, if you've got a question about a particular area you want me to do, post the link below, and I look forward to sharing with you more about where you should be investing in my upcoming videos. Bye for now.